Hello and welcome back one and all to the Elspeth von Draken campaign. We are returning after the end turn, start of a fresh experience. Gonna be finishing off these tree hammer ogres. Quick little auto resolve, wiping out the last of that faction. Going through the diplomacy over just before I hit the end turn there, just to try to figure out which direction we might be going in for our future. And it seems like this is definitely going to be our next target, because essentially we only need to make the Empire itself under human control, really. This is the only area of the map that the campaign is concerned about using the victory conditions. We've nearly completed the short victory. As you can see, Sylvania Fecundites are already down, and for some reason only tier 2 is required. Granted, this is short campaign, so that's understandable. And we're over halfway on the settlements as well. A long campaign is going to be a few more settlements, short victory as well, and conquering the provinces. Actually, no, you can hold them through vassals, so that's why your Sterland is already counted. Yeah, that's why I've already got it, so that does count for that as well then, even if I can't control it myself. So we're definitely making some good progress and headway for the victory conditions. Aside from that, it's just a matter of dealing any... There we go. Get a couple of them. Aside from that, it's just a matter of dealing with the crises once they pop up. Also, the Nemesis Crown over there, I'm not frankly that interested in the Nemesis Crown.
Amethyst Mage.
Type of power holds no sway over me. Get some range and reload reduction for the army, that's fantastic. Grand Marshal. Also, I am a tad concerned. Our plan for this man here was that somebody up north would end up running through him, likely Azazel, although that plan I think has already fallen out with his death. Throt, I believe, is also already dead, so looking to demons, I guess, or Norska itself, either Throg or Wulfric, to take him out. However, he is also still at war with Draken, much like myself, and I have no idea where she is. You can look on the map. She's got no settlements. Checking out, faction still exists with 0 territories. So somewhere in the fog of war lies a Wood Elf army. And I'm guessing it's in the Orthodoxy's territory, just because he's also the other person at war with her. So I believe I'm just going to keep him nearby and in striking range of Betchafen in case she comes by and happens to take that settlement. We do actually have one of her heroes there already. And will I need some control? I think I may. I would also, I think, rather upgrade a different settlement. Buff that trade. Let's get in here, get some more guns for Fildorf, pump the growth, upgrade that settlement, and pump more growth into our starting province. That'll be all that money. And all the lords have indeed moved. Whoops. Keep on kicking my keyboard. Alright, now personally, after showing off the victory conditions, I would personally like to get all the way through tier 4. I would like to get multiple levels on all of these, and this is just going to happen as the turns go through. We did also get the reduction on that, so we can go ahead and grab this. I'm tempted to grab 2 because it's required that I use a charge in order to complete this tier. Yeah, use a Buna bombardment ability. Okay. I also am required to grab another of these units. Let's do so like that then. And I believe I will grab a second charge. Or should I increase some of these units' abilities? Strider for the war wagons, outriders, that's actually really good. Strider, as you can see here, ignores penalty caused by terrain, such as forests. Any large unit suffers a number of penalties through being in forests, so having that on any outriders means that they can go running in through the trees unobstructed and unhindered, which will be helpful chasing down any beastmen or really anyone that hides in the woods. Wood elves as well. What would you like, Castalton? No. I may end up having to go to war with you to take that settlement. Hopefully, the Tsarina will end up at war with him, and then I can join her war. If I recall from the latest video, she actually has decreasing relations. He does not. He believes that things are fine. Go ahead and check that out once I get back to my turn. Only 152 factions remain. It is, what, turn 37? My goodness, they are dropping quickly. Maintain at least 80 Imperial Authority. We are just up to that. Or just above it, I should say. So we are getting some better buffs, growth, and control, as well as the mercenary replenishment time. The best part about it, once we get into here, the true heirs of Sigmar, is going to be the income bonus. And that will be very helpful. Draken, it looks to be scouting, I guess. Still can't see her territory or her army in any of their territory, which is why I believe she's back here.
It is time.
Alright, so we can take a look at this now. Yes, she has a deteriorating opinion of him. Alright. Do you appreciate that I've trespassed against him?
Yes, my lord.
Trespasses against the Great Orthodoxy. Yep, you enjoy that. Okay. I'm just gonna sit in your territory then. Alright. You were gonna come over here. Tell you what, just what happened? Okay, quest issued. We get 2,000 gold if we kill 500 enemies. Move any character to Talabekland. Ah, that's why that procced. Okay. I suppose you actually have to be in Talabheim? Because I was in Talabekland over here. Anyway. Yeah, you're not too happy with me. But that's fine.
Excellent.
The Exina could be an issue there. However, the Spartans are unbreakable, so that's good. Now, Marius, your force... You need another one of those Tariads. Yes, one of them. And then, can I get any cavalry? No, that will be in the next province over. Okay. In that case, I'll grab a second mortar. And increase the growth here, perhaps? Maybe, it's possible. Zufbar Crooked Moon is not having a good time down here. They're getting really squished out. Yeah, Krakadrin ran them out of their starting province. They are also running Thorgrim out of his province, but seems to be a vicious cycle over there. Dwarves and greenskins. Fitting as the story goes, given the Warhammer universe. Gonna go ahead and increase the trade, I think, there. Part of me is getting more and more concerned about this fort, to be honest. Actually, no. My neighbor dwarves seem to be making some progress against the ogres, at least. Oh, the ogres may be distracted with pirates over here. Okay. And you are dealing with the rat? Yes, you are. Alright. Is there a beastman? No, there's not. Typically, Morgr the Shadowgrave starts over here, and he takes Montanus and puts up a herdstone. Those two will typically be allies as well. However, given as that settlement was ruins, might not have gone his way this time around. Ikit may have been a little bit mad. I could launch this. Oh yeah, Marienburg is dead, isn't they? Aren't they? Yeah, Marienburg is dead. Looks like you're actually pushing into their territory. I may not have to do anything for the rest of this campaign, essentially. Alright, if all I have to do is maintain the borders of the Empire, and France is doing that well enough currently, then I get to just sit back and build up my empire, and I'm perfectly happy to do just that. Friends, I'm very happy that you're being intelligent this playthrough. Building upgrade available. However, I do need more schematics and more wars because I'm not going to get any more schematics if I'm not shooting anyone. Another reason to go up top. Tell you what, I think I'm going to reroute you up top. I'm going to send you up there. Should have done so from here, it would have been faster walk, but oh well. And next turn, with 5k, I will build a garden in Nome. Seeing as we haven't used the Gardens of Moor yet, may as well do that. That way, at any point I may need to, I can just bring Elspeth back home, she can refit her army, and jump back out there into the world. Mostly playing a defensive game. And that's fine with me. One of the reasons I do enjoy the Empire, as well as the dwarves. Speaking of, I do have a little bit of a dwarven itch, so that may be the next campaign I put up. Repair the damage at the moot. Remove the dwarf mining company from the moot. Oh my goodness. An earthquake reverberates violently through your settlement, opening numerous sinkholes and causing extensive damage to many buildings. This is undoubtedly the result of the dwarf's greedy labors below your settlement. It had been easy to turn a blind eye to the dangers of subterranean mining until now, but this latest calamity has you doubting whether the cut of the minerals they've been sending to the surface as tribute is really worth the trouble. I'm okay with it. Income from all buildings plus 10%, and tradable resources produced 5%. Trade resources are going to be wine and spices from this settlement, so if it increases both of those, then that's fantastic. And then just the overall income buff. Yeah, just 10% straight onto anything. That'll be even better once I am able to get more buildings in there. That wall has failed. It looks like... Oh my goodness, it looks like Skarsnik did actually fail to take Karazakarak, and he is going to be squished between two dwarves, it looks like. Does leave Ironclaw to come out on top and see where he may go. This man is likely running all the way around to hunt down Skarsnik. And we found the army. Of course.
The Empire.
So let's... Honestly?
Ulrich's will.
I've got to deal with the Wood Elf. There we go. Now, do I want to fight this and try to get more kills with the guns, just for more schematics, or do I want to save myself some irritation? The Tree Man and the Draken are going to be the easiest shots just because of their size. Their archers do outrange my range. The wolves are fast, so are the birds. Honestly, I think I'm going to just save myself the headache. Grab some gold from them. And that should be the end of her. The hero is in fact gone. Yes, there you go. Distinguished Captain. Okay.
What does the Emperor bid?
Well, now that our hope for Draken deciding to take Betschaffen, like that was definitely an easier take. Okay?
I will marshal the band.
It was definitely easier for her. Player bias.
Yes, my lord.
Got the Wood Elf killed. Felt like fighting the player instead of the AI. Should have known what would happen. I'm sure everybody watching did. Are you gonna have a rebellion? You do have a negative public order. That might be another way we could get that settlement. If it rebels, then we can just capture it. Hello, who are you? Then we can just capture it from the rebels. Well, thank you for announcing who you are. Although you didn't actually say your name. How do you pronounce this? Aurelian? High Elf Mage Hero? Having finished her mission with von Kessel and still mourning her brother's death. Yeah, that's just her name. Oriel's future looks uncertain, but her fierce determination to fight the dark forces remains unchanged. She's a spellcaster, in case you didn't know. I thought it would say something else. I mean, she seems to have decent melee stats. Granted, not, you know, much strength behind the swing, but decent stats, at the very least. Alright.
Dark Lady of Nome.
I think you are going to jump into a brand new army.
Von Draken.
I have military access with everybody, right? I don't have military access with you.
Friends of the Empire, come.
Why, thank you. I'm glad we could change that. Military access, Ostland is the only one I don't have military access with. Okay.
Amethyst.
And
Guardian.
what's going to be the fastest way to fight vampires? This way.
The men must contemplate death.
Alright, Marius, you do not want to go into that settlement. They have a plague. You can go drink at the moot for a while. I don't feel like recruiting any more units into his army at the moment. Upgrade Averheim. Some better recruitment out of that province. And I think I will upgrade my fort this time around, just to get a tier 3 at the very least. At that point, I may ignore it for the rest of the campaign, I don't know. Tier 3 fort is, I mean, unless the AI is actually trying to break through you and they send a designated force, like a single army, 20 stack, normally isn't gonna break through it. But it also depends on what that stack consists of. Every now and then the AI does build a competent force. Not very often, but every now and then. Even rarely, it does actually build doom stacks, which is irritating as much as it is amusing.
Land can wait. Our meeting cannot.
I was just about to say something. Why should I do this? War with orcs. You know what? You're gonna give me 80 gold. I guess that's why I'm doing it. Less to worry about. Skarsnik has fallen. We get more income. Yeah, 7k income. That's nice. Like to see that.
Wielder of the
Run you
pale
up
sun.
top. And it looks like Franz, or somebody under his command, is making a very decent push into the vampire territory there. I believe that's their initial province. I think they start in one of these settlements. Anyway, that vampire is almost dead. It looks like Boris had a fight. Not a very good army. Hopefully we'll be able to get over there and wipe them out. Take a few of those settlements, maybe. If not, we'll at least be able to get the schematics and the XP. You now really have no need to be over here unless I do want to wage a quick little war for your settlement. Who are you at war with? Norska, World Walkers. Okay, Wolfric. He might be able to do some work.
Yes. Pick up the pace.
You can still play defensively then. Building up my home here. We do have some Knights of the Everlasting Light chapter house. After a series of disasters, including fire, earthquakes, and comet strikes, the current Everlasting Light chapter house is based in the city of Essen in the province of Ostermark. Over here. That's actually the... Oh, wow. I was reading it for Nagenhof. Okay. I was very confused as to where this was then. We will let that rest. We have 5k. Should I pop in this garden now? Alrighty. So we can actually build these anywhere the Empire or an Empire faction has a settlement. Drakenhof and Nuln are my top 2 picks. I believe we can have up to 5. It only costs 3k. I thought that was 5. Okay. Gardens of Nuln constructed. Yes. Use the gardens to travel. We can get 3k when we do that. That's nice. And hero capacity +2 for battle wizards. Faction-wide increase in power reserve capacity. That's lovely. Power reserve for the region. That would actually be good to have in Drakenhof. In local and adjacent regions. This is an awesome building. That's a great little spread of troops to just pop out anywhere, really. Because you can use this in I could build it in Empire territory, and then in camp stance, I'm guessing, I would be able to recruit those units and replenish any losses I may sustain during battle. That's awesome. And unlocks recruitment of the Knights of More Elector Count State Troop. That's strange. Elector Count State Troop. Okay, I was thinking of the cavalry. When fighting against undead, vigor loss reduction for all armies. That is... I'm definitely going to want to build a couple of these, because when fighting the undead, that's actually going to come in really handy. I may do that, because those Knights of More, I'm fairly sure, are not these. These are Knights of the Black Rose. In that case, they're definitely not the same thing.
Yes, my lord.
Those are also Knights of the Black Rose. You are the cavalry, the Knights of More that I was thinking of. I think it's time for experimenting. Where's an army? Nope, you're not in my territory. Over here. Recruit from the Elector Count. Okay, Knights of More. There you are. Alright, so the God of the Dead... Okay, hang on. There we go. The God of the Dead's chosen knights provide a steady supply of settlers to populate his ethereal realm. I almost called it eternal. You have 2630. Anti-infantry, really? It doesn't look like you have anti-infantry. Looks like you have 9 armor piercing. Majority of it is just regular. I don't know why anti-infantry is there. It does have a shield. Causes terror, that's true. Magical aura. Magical aura. I mean, you're immune to psych, but I don't see any magic. Abilities. I don't know what either of those two are talking about. This unit is surrounded by one or more magical auras that either support nearby friends or harm its foes. It's got to be talking about the Stern Resolve then. Affects allies in range immune to psych, yeah. That's got to be what it means by magical aura. Alright. A decent unit. Let's see, 26, 30, 30. See how they compare to you. 26, 30, 30. So 34, 31, 40. These Knights of More are better.
What does the Emperor bid?
I bid you to getting some very fancy troops. That retrofit, I think, may be happening a little sooner than expected. We also have some of these great Spartan troops, these top tier heavy spearmen, dragon, great sword elite, Thor's heavy Spartan, golden Spartans with axes, the two sword warriors, as well as these legionnaires, elite shooter of Sparta, heavy legionnaire of Sparta. How is that unit different from this one? Okay, so that's anti-large spear. This is a sword and shield infantry. What is that? Passive missile resistance and melee defense. Hit points less than 25, okay. As well as the Griffin Guard. Fantastic, lovely units. What are those abilities? Well drilled, prideful. Oh, cannot move. Interesting. So the moment before they break, they just get 15 seconds of being unbreakable, I guess. It's kind of like the Kislevite. For the mother's country, something. Love of the motherland.
Let us move.
I don't know what the ability is called. I just know that it is out there. Alright, you can now grab money. Fantastic for that. I would actually like to see top growth as 500 with the income buff. It is 625, so that's very good. Let's pop into the building browser here, making sure we got the things we need. I may end up going with the garrison, the city watch for the moot, and then just leave that as its final little addition there. Castle Drakenhof. Should I give you growth? I may want it. I mean, we do have this growth here. This is a very large settlement, so probably, yeah, without any legendary landmarks, I'm guessing I'm gonna have enough space to build what I want here. Alright, so I've just realized the Knights of Acarmon Saloon actually provides income as well. Just because they're such rich and fancy knights, they're willing to pay for the privilege of having a fancy saloon. Anyway, with 800 gold, we're gonna actually keep it in the bank, because not really much to do anything with. That said, we can get some upkeep reduction. Reload time, I don't have this buff yet for my missile units. I think I'll do that. Recruitment cost and ammunition.
What are we if we do not advance?
Seems like a good idea. Advancements indeed. Oh, hello, sorry. Tabbed out to check the recording time. Military access from you, my lady, of course. Only for 42 more gold. Now we'll be able to see what's going on in Kislev. Make some more plans as to how it is that we progress. I'm not really getting as much interaction from viewers in this campaign as I am with Arbol, so I am at this point expecting to play through the long victory conditions. If I don't get the crisis beforehand, then I will also play through the crisis, because, I mean, Elspeth has to fight the undead. That's essentially the entire reason that I'm doing this. And at that point, I will hop into another campaign. Only turn 40 though, so we've got quite a bit to go before then. Finally constructed the livery. Maintain, actually that doesn't say maintain. Kill enemies with melee cav or demigriffs. I just call them demi for short. Alright, so it does, yeah, Throt was actually taken out, and unfortunately, the Masters of Innovation are going to be butchering Tsarina. Hopefully you end up at war with him, because he's the one we want to die, and he does not like you very much, because you're killing his friend. You have mixed feelings about him, okay? Yeah, those two still have a fun relationship. The dwarf I did not know was going to be at war with them. That's surprising. I figured he would have enough enemies, but I guess he just wanted more.
Beset by ill
Alright.
portents, we
Can come
must
over
wait.
here. Regen for a turn. I will declare war on them next turn. If not, the turn after. Do I need to maintain 3 of those units in her specific army? I am just now noticing. Maintain a total of 3 of the units? No, okay. Not specifically her army, I just need to have 3 of them on the field. Okay. You can run over into File Dwarf. My Marshal.
Who calls? On march!
Check out Mordheim, make sure there's no Skaven hiding in there. And I will... I think we're gonna go for Tau over in here because it is the forest realm, or at least closer to the forest, being the Griffin Wood up there. So we'll give them the blessings of Tau. Nom... oh, it's this. Okay, I was wondering what it was that I could rebuild. Immune to diplomatic penalties from trespassing against region owner. Oh. Well, that's interesting. I mean, chances are by the time you've built this, you'll have military access with most Empire factions. But it's nice that they do that just in case. I also don't know which one of these buildings I want first. I think it's going to be Amethyst College. Mostly because for Nuln, I'm not really concerned about having having those Knights of More or added recruitment, essentially. The upkeep would be nice just for while I'm recruiting armies in this province and then moving them out. But
Master of magic.
I don't know. I'll get over it, I think. Building upgrade 5k. Alright, Sylvania, hello. Where'd my money go? You, oh my goodness, what are you? Sacred Scythe Chapter House. The reviled sacred scythes are expert vampire hunters, tirelessly rooting out those who practice the dark arts. It's interesting that they give -2 control. I also provide vampire corruption, that might be why. Enables flaming attacks when fighting against vampire counts, coast, and tomb kings armies in region. Okay, well, I mean, that's not as good, but that is still a really good buff. Also, being in Needling. Yeah. Yeah, chances are once the undead pop up at Templehof and Drakenhof, there's going to be some conflict over in this area, so that would actually be helpful. These are going to be interesting to check out. Forest Strider, they do have anti-infantry. You can see there of 7. 32, 32. I mean, once they get some buffs in these units, they're going to be performing about probably still a little bit stepping above the base state troops. And we do have the Black Rose. Shrouded in mystery, the Order of the Black Rose was founded during the dark days of the Black Plague, but has waxed and waned in size over the many years. Interesting. I'm surprised I don't have that chapter house in this territory. Knights of the Black Rose. No, I don't. Okay. Knights of the Black Rose apparently don't live in Visserland. That's something I did not expect. What should we get here? I think it may be a Temple of Sigmar. In the meantime, you are going to grab growth, possibly? I think I'll do growth. I mean, there's no need considering this is the only settlement I'm going to have and I can't confederate them. So in that case, if I'm going to get both of those buildings at tier 3, let's just make a tiny little recruitment hub. Temple, do I want to put a temple here? Or one of these? I think given the 2 Knightly Order chapter houses, we'll go with the gun building. Just because we'll have a decent array of infantry to recruit from already. Checking out up here, gonna be prepared for this war against, what are you, the Doom Legion? I forget the name of this faction. It's not telling me. Lorelorn's Senate First Seat.
No.
I'm not even gonna try to say that name. Ungrim, why are you disliking me? They condemn treaties with Talabecland. Why are you why? What is this? What the hell? What the hell? Like, if I'm just gonna leave my camera here, okay? Okay, so just on this screen, I can see 4 factions that he should be at war with. Ogres, greenskins, more greenskins, and Skaven. You are bordering rats. You're bordering rats. And orcs. And chaos dwarves back here. Possibly more Skaven back there. Or undead even. Could be some undead in the Silver Pinnacle. And who does he declare war on? I want you to take your giant axe and choke on it. I will say, I do enjoy playing the Empire campaign, but I have completed very few Empire campaigns, specifically because I tried to play the Empire diplomatically, and Total War Warhammer is not very competent when it comes to the diplomacy. That is thankfully something CA is working on, but still has a lot of issues. And I would like to see if these guys have a defensive alliance. You have a defensive alliance against Talabecland, or with Talabecland? Talabecland has a defensive alliance with both of them. So what happened is, yeah. Okay, so, what's her name? Karak Kadrin Ungrim, right? He declared war on Talabecland to take this settlement, and because the defensive alliance, he ended up at war with both of them as well. Why would you need to take this settlement? I mean, it definitely wasn't his desire to take those settlements. Again, his neighbors, every other direction, all around him, all around this AI, are factions that he should be at war with. And instead, he decides to pick a fight with my allies. And what's more fucked up is he tried to become an ally. Like, no. I will allow you to take this settlement so that I can take it, because I want to complete that province. I might allow you to threaten Talabecland to the point where I can confederate them, but if you take their territory, then I'm going to have to wage war on you as well. So, this is one of the reasons, like I said, why I don't always finish Empire campaigns. I commonly restart them and go back a few turns just because the AI is... I have no kind words, or I should say I have few kind words for the AI. There are some. Anyway, we'll read about the Grail Knight grave in the Holy Bretonnian site. For some reason, it's in Grenstadt. Here lies one of the virtuous few who quested long for the Grail at the Lady's blessed behest. Gather here and partake of his goodness. Huh. Okay, when control is 75 or more, chance of characters in this region to gain a trait associated with the location. I believe you actually gain the blessing of the Grail in this region. I mean, if this condition is met. This is actually a good thing to get. I did see Legend of Total War playing an army that took advantage of that buff. It does have its uses. I don't know if I'll get to play with it this time. We shall see if I keep somebody in the area. Tell you what, you can go over there. Seeing as this cavalry... Oh, I could have recruited that there. Oh well. I guess I'll just save that money. You can do that next turn. Okay, I was gonna say... That's a strange point, actually. You have 3 settlements. All of them provide growth. Why? Like, this is my starting province. Why does this one have more growth? There's only 2 settlements here. Is this really buffing it that much? That's only 30. That's 30 for a tier 3 as well. Whatever. At least I'll have 2 tier 4 settlements. And... oh, I spent all my money. That's what happened. Okay. You have Sigmar's Rock. The Order of Merciful Sisters of Sigmar dedicate their lives to recovering Warpstone from across the world and bringing it to Sigmar's Rock for safekeeping. We can get the Knights of the Hammers of Sigmar. Okay, then, very nice. They sound like they'll be a fun unit. Anti-infantry? Yep. Anti-infantry and armor-piercing for majority. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's heavy armor-piercing. Not the best stats, though. Kind of... do you have the exact same stats, actually? 35, 29, 32. 35, 29, 32. 10, 23, 9... 10, 23, 9. You have the exact same stats as the cavalry. With the exception of speed. And less armor. Well, I mean, if you need somebody to hold a line, I guess they're there. But yeah, that's weird that they don't really have any different stats from the cavalry. I wonder if that's true for the others. I'll take a look at that when I start recruiting them into the armies. You have already moved, sir. Grand Marshal. I'm going to bring over here because the dwarves are likely going to be a problem now. For some reason, they have elected to be a thorn in my side.
The slayer in me seeks death.
This really? That's fantastic because I've got plenty of guns. Gonna fill your stupid dwarf slayer face full of lead.
Rider of the dragon in Carmine.
Alright. Doom Legion.
In your pity. Greetings from Sigmar.
Pay me to help fight the vampires. You're also fighting Bellicor, it looks like.
Amethyst Magistrix.
Is there an army nearby? I am recruiting. Not too worried about that.
Their end is
I need to get more heroes for these. I'm pretty sure I've said that before. Still remains true.
The Empire expands.
I'm just gonna take the settlement. Ooh, we get 2 landmarks here. Shrine of the Raven. Oh my. 7-turn duration applied to owned armies who enter the region. And the Zenentor. Okay. That's, I mean, great buffs. Gonna have fun reading that and figuring out what they do when we're able to build them. I think that was a tier 3 and a tier 4, right? 5. 3 and 5. Okay. In the meantime, we do have more Carmine Knights. Fancy, pompous bastards. Alright, I think I'm gonna cool it with the tongue. Getting a little spicy. Piercing shots. And reload reduction, that's fantastic. Good combo there. Lords and Hero has moved. We did get a little bit more loot from that settlement. Can pop up right there. Down to 80. What's the tech? Shall we grab... I'm not sold on going for these sooner rather than later, to be frank with you all. If anyone wants to see those units, you're gonna have to comment for it. Otherwise, it's gonna be a bit. Alrighty, and I do think I may... No, actually, I have rethought my thoughts. I am going to engage in a war with the undead first. I want to see them fight. Yeah, I mean, we can be friends with you. You're fighting greenskins, so you're a good dwarf.
Fight.
He's not going to appreciate when I start shooting Ungrim, but it was Ungrim's choice. Should also be more mindful of checking diplomacy now, just to see if Talabecland will be willing to confederate. Who are you, by the way? Scaling. I was expecting to see Norsko on that shoreline.
Amethyst Mage.
And they have runaways. We're gonna go up to the bridge.
Following the footfalls of the dead.
Don't know where they went.
For known for
There they are.
the Empire.
I need to take as
Bring them
few casualties as possible.
No.
Yeah, that's not very threatening of an army. Brass Keep, okay. Dwarf Ungrim did move. He hasn't moved into the Empire, so I'm not too sure where he moved to.
Yes.
Marius.
As you say, sir.
What is this? Immune to plague for 3 turns. Okay, so that plague has now passed.
Safari's servant.
You can move over there. Check out my home. Nope, I need your money.
To the provinces.
Give me your money. I need more money. I need 6,000. Okay. Somebody make a deal with me. Well, we could get a non-aggression from one of the men that we want to kill because he took a settlement from us that we need. Or we could sign a non-aggression with the dwarf that we're likely going to have to kill. I would really like to have positive relations with you. I just don't know why Tsarina is angry and fighting dwarves. First Malachi Makaisen up there, and now Ungrim. Both Slayer Lords, by the way. She's, I don't know, maybe she's just so scary that the Slayers think they can get an honorable death by fighting her.
Approach us, friend, and make your offer.
My offer is that you give me your gold and a trade agreement. How about military access
It is
as
good
well?
to see fellow sons of the Empire this day.
Yes, I agree. I'm sure you're happy that I'm saving you from that vampire. Defensive alliance. I would have done that with you. I'm glad that I didn't, because you've got some unconventional enemies. I wonder if she declared war on them, just because all of the Kislev around her, she might not actually have diplomatic knowledge of the demons around her. Like, the faction may not have encountered each other yet, so they just declare war on who they do know, with the worst relations, which is why it went for the dwarves. I don't know. I don't know. The AI will march all the way across the world in order to get to me, so I feel like it's a little foolish for them to not do it in order to get to them. I did see that Confederation, by the way, don't worry. I just want to upgrade my settlement. Thank you. Alright, Talabecland, are you ready to raise the Black Rose?
By Sigmar's will.
You are mine.
Eat me.
Alright. Now all I need to do is confederate the Empire, and we will be safe from the dwarf. I still have 6k income. That's fantastic. Alright, so we can now get the growth and construction cost reduction in here. That's fantastic, thank you. Talabecland as well. Do I need growth? This is already tier 4. Oh, fantastic. That's good, that's good, that's good. This settlement, I mean, I might need to move that, but otherwise, this all seems to be fine. Hello. Knights of the Blazing Sun on foot. Halberds, oh. Anti-large with flaming attacks. That's devastating for fighting vampire units. Well, like vampire cavalry and the Vargolfs and whatnot. Large, threatening vampire units. That is fantastic. What is this building over here? The Talgranhar Forest. Hopefully I said that accurately. The greatest temple to Tal is found in Talabheim. The... what does that say? Cratered city at the center of the empire. I'm not wearing my glasses. I am unfamiliar with Talabheim having a crater in the center of the city. Anyone knows that lore? Feel free to refresh on my memory in the down below.
It will be done.
You, in the meantime, need to consolidate these armies, and is that it? I just got 2 extra armies? Okay. You
Yes, my lord.
have a purple hat. I like your hat. Yeah, I just got those 2.
Yes, my lord.
Oh no, 3. That's a hero, yeah. Those 2. Where is the... there you are. Okay. I was gonna say, you do have some legendary lords for these other provinces. So we can also get these out. These lords, by the way, I will fully spec out with their specific
I will marshal the men.
elector count troop, depending on which province
It
they're
is
from.
time.
You're gonna move over there and reinforce that guy. You are gonna
Yes,
jump
son
in
of
the army.
Sigmar, Shield of faith.
And yeah, we're gonna have a great big old mosh pit. Everybody's gonna get together and have some fun. Okay. In the meantime, we're gonna be up top. Been going on for nearly an hour. Let's go ahead and grab this quick little fight. Just to end out the episode here, taking as little casualties as possible. And next episode, we will be able to wipe out the Doom Legion for good, and essentially consolidate the entirety of the Empire's borders. So that's really nice. Aside from Betchafen, I believe, is the only settlement under non-Empire control. So, doing pretty great. What kind of formation do I have?
Elspeth von Draken.
This is weird.
Great cannon.
You can be there. Mortars in the back.
Hellstorm rocket battery.
You can be there.
Handgunners. Ready for war. Standing by. Take up your
You can be there. You can be there.
soldiers of the Empire.
Free company. A little worried about bats, but I should be fine given that I have a dragon.
We serve the Emperor. Free company. For Heldenhammer. I left an offer in the shadow. She will protect us. Swordsman.
Sacrificial swordsman in the front. And this unit of spears will guard the flank.
Master craftsman.
You can chill right there. Dark Lady of Known herself. I do have more guns. Always have more guns. Okay. The dead should stay in the ground. You're absolutely right. Unfortunately, the dead don't agree. And you are going to...
Don't let fear take you. They are nothing to be afraid of. Handgunners.
Alright, gonna send you... Whoops.
Ready for war.
You... that way.
Charge
You...
the foe.
that way. And you...
Mage
Nope.
of death.
Not you. You. Like there. Sure. Can leave some units on the end. I don't mind.
Free company.
And my free company, do not stand right in front of the Hell Fury. Hellstorm? Hellstorm. I always get confused between the Cathayan name and the Empire name. I think I am actually gonna leave you over there, but a little bit to the side, because Hellstorm. It's on a hill, so it should be okay. Begin. Get the bats.
All will need more in time.
What is that? Oh.
Kill them. If they get back up, kill them again. Handgunners.
Oh hey. Hey there, Skelly. You wanna see what's going on? Get your camera out. Where should we set him up? Set him up right there. He should have a good view.
The graveyard rose.
Get some flaming attacks while we fight those bats. Physical resistance as well, just because I feel like absolutely butchering them.
Death claims you.
I could drop... the bombardment, actually. Oh, that's quite the AoE. What's the time on this? Duration 8 seconds. We'll see. 3 seconds for cooldown, or for ignition, okay. 8 seconds for it to launch. Yeah, plenty of time for them to run away. This is an actual like bombardment of Hellstorm batteries with the upgraded. That was a very broken sentence. Hopefully some of you understood that.
The dark lady.
If not, totally understandable. But the Hellstorm rocket battery, the Amethyst version is what I'm talking about. Very similar to that. There we go. That's a break. Full shatter. Okay. I saw that. And that is why we call them sacrificial swordsmen. Only casualties from that battle inflicted by myself. I lost 38 good swordsmen. They killed none of them. Gotta watch where you're firing, man. You've really gotta watch where you're firing. I'm surprised those swordsmen are still going. I don't think I've really cared about the placement, or keeping them alive, I should say. I always care about where I place my units, but I don't care about keeping them alive, really. I mean, as long as they do their job. Swordsmen have been doing their job so well that they've been sticking around, even after getting shot in the back. Yeah. So the Fate of Buna bombardment there, that's a very large AoE and a very slow time to actually get the damage out there, which is going to make it difficult to cast. I mean, it's going to be great for large infantry blobs, obviously, but the chances of getting them to be a large infantry blob and keeping your unit alive, likely not going to happen. You might need to get some sacrificial swordsmen of your own. You are down to 1 settlement, 19 units. You do have a full stack, so you might actually jump in here for a fight. Possible. Get some miscast base chance and some... Actually, that's just base chance. Okay. Miscast. Alright, well, at least we won't have to worry about that, really. More miscast base chance. Gonna never miscast. That's very good.
This belongs in
It's incredibly
the
aggravating when you do miscast, because you just hurt yourself. I've unfortunately had quite a few spellcasters kill themselves with it, being their final move. It's rather unfortunate. Did go up in level. We seem to have unlocked 3 regiments of renown, level 26. Fate of Buna bombardment ability, and we killed the bunch of units 1,000 with amethyst units, or with Elspeth. Buna bombard charge depleted. How is that depleted? I bought 2 of them. Did you cheat me? It did. It cheated me. I feel very hurt. I got cheated out of 500 schematics. I don't like that. Purple, Son of Eclipse, Spirit Barrage. Yeah. Is there any point in getting multiple charges then? Because I only had 1 use on the side panel there during the battle, so you're not allowed to use multiple during... Did it, like, launch 2 volleys for 1 click? There's no good way to rationalize what happened there, unless I just didn't get two charges. I don't know. Anyone in the comments, let me know. Because chances are that's going to be the only way to verify. Could get some restock. That would be nice for war wagons and outriders and pistoliers. That's... I mean, never run out of ammo. Seems good. Missile strength for the great cannon. 360 missile block. And added missile block chance. That's going to be great. This is going to be an incredible war machine once we're able to recruit them. We are going to leave it there, turn 42, so not even halfway through or halfway up to the crisis, and we have essentially cleared the entirety of the Empire. As you can see, yeah, it's just... Actually, I suppose Marienburg also, right? Yeah, Marienburg is also one of mine. Empire region. So Marienburg and Betschhafen are the only two. Ignore that one. These are the only two settlements that I don't need to take. I did not know that you needed to take Laurelon Forest as well. Okay, I might have to go to war with those wood elves. Interesting. Do you have friendly relations? Yeah, you do. Alright, well, thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you have been enjoying this. If you are, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't already, tell your friends, tell your family, anyone who loves Warhammer. Let them know. Anyway, catch y'all on the next one, folks. Thanks again. Peace to all.